for Judge then. I'm telling them I'm playing for Justin. He said it. Commish said it. I'm gonna reply to that. I'm playing for Justin.
And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle.
I want Zach Wilson, Sauce Gardner, and Garrett Wilson.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Damo better not try to play me for no Jets either, because he gonna get spanked.
The 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big play there out of the running game.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards.
Bro, if he's using that logic, I already beat him in the Super Bowl. That should be my Jets team right there.
Usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He finds his man. Complete. It's Curry. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that these slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. The 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
He said Spencer was superstar, right?
Huh?
Spencer was superstar.
Cool. Spencer.
Your wide receiver.
Yeah.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game?
I take Titans.
Last week's game, that number 6.
Yeah, because they got Malik Willis.
Performance. They were on top of their game.
And they traded
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this
They
situation
traded what's his
would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it
AJ
off.
Brown.
Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the
Oh,
defense
they
stayed
got
in sync,
that wide
stayed in great
receiver,
communication.
Traylon
And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big play there on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Spencer. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the hunt.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the 49ers are going to take over once again.
Nice
and they'll have it
recovery.
at their own 8-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
I wish it was
How about
already
the
2
discipline that they
Oh,
showed
yeah,
on
yeah.
defense, because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 45 yards on the ground for him so far. Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Now they try the right side here. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively.
His running back is like
and
one of his only good
forces a
players.
punt situation on fourth.
He's like a 90-something overall.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some change? And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now it's 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson. His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Gibson here running out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Point after here coming up. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just
looks like Cowboys leaving a division.
That's what they're looking for here.
He traded away.
He wants to play for the Jets.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I told him they're playing for me, but he was like, "No, there's already 2 teams," because he already knows.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
How you getting people in the line?
From the gun, he'll hand this off. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Hands it off out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
Aaron saved the touchdown.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
You should definitely go on inside, but I need to
out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead, should they so choose.
Yeah, he gonna be like, I'm
That's out
to
to the flat for Gibson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Niners are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Gonna give this time to the tailback. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. 13 yards remaining on second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Where's 52? Watch 52.
On play action, Lance. He finds his man, complete. That's Curry. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check. Check 26, check 26. Slam. Kill, turn up. Watch out.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. From the gun, it's Lance. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
Returning it, here's Spencer.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Spencer. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And he finds McLaurin. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Washington.
Boy, Charles, you have to be impressed with how Terry McLaurin has quickly become one of the better receivers in the NFL, and this is all effort here.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 5. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun on third down, Wilson.
I'm about to get off,
This
dude.
is going to be incomplete.
Anytime
Yeah,
someone's
we watching the
the
game.
fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a third down attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 8. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll just get rid of it. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens, things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. He's got Ayuk once again. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Caden Stearns. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe. Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A huge play there for Washington. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Galant's going to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad...
Touchdown! Antonio Gibson, a 14-yard touchdown. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost that they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
2nd and 2.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Now it's Wilson. Hit as he throws. He lost the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 30. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike 50.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
One final try now for Lance.
And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. And that's caught for the additional 2 points. It'll only matter to the final score line, and that is the final act of this game. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the